Hey everybody, Jake Thorne here with Texas A&M AgriLife Sheep and Goat Extension. So selection for natural parasite resistance is a hot topic in the industry, and we get a lot of questions around this, and frankly, it's complicated. But with that being said, I want to clarify a few points to help you get the most out of your information when you collect fecal egg counts and interpret those results. And those 3 points are that it's really important to collect from everybody. It's really important to compare animals only to those others that have been treated similarly, a contemporary group. And it's also really important that everybody has experienced at least a moderate fecal or moderate parasite challenge, and their fecal egg counts have some variability. And so recently we worked with a cooperator in our area to collect some fecal samples for this type of information, and it's plotted here on this graph, and I think this really exemplifies all 3 of these points. We went to this cooperator with the intention of just sampling his lambs. And here on the left, as you can see, that the variability in the lamb's fecal samples was barely nothing, or basically nothing. On this graph, the orange bars represent the minimum within the contemporary group, the gray bars represent the max, and the blue is the average. The lamb's fecal egg counts only range from 0 to 200. Now, these lambs will be watched over the next coming weeks and months as the parasite season progresses. Collecting fecal egg counts is not just a once a year type of thing. So we're going to monitor these guys and wait till they get at least a moderate challenge. Our threshold of moderate challenge is 1,000 to 1,500 eggs per gram, and then we can make some accurate comparisons. Now, since we were there, we noticed that the ewes were showing a few signs of parasitism, and the lambs weren't, so we collected samples from the ewes. Now, in this bunch, there were the ewes that had lambs, and then there were also some dry ewes. These were yearlings. They were being bred to lamb for the first time, and so only a portion of those actually lambed. And that's an important fact, because when we compare only those ewes that had lambs at their side to those others that had lambed, we realized that maybe some higher egg counts aren't always a bad thing. The average within this group is 2,300, and if we would have just grabbed a sample from a handful of those ewes and maybe saw those egg counts were 2,500 to 3,000, we could have been concerned. We wouldn't have known that we were only getting from those ewes that are diverting nutrition and resources away from their immune system to raising their lambs. Again, these are yearling ewes, and so if they've lambed in the first year, they're probably going to be kept as replacements. They've certainly proven their worth from a fertility standpoint. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's look over here. Here's the dry ewes, and a few of those crept up towards that 2,000 and above range. These are potentially within the group. This area, or these females, are the ones that we maybe want to identify as potential culls or more inferior type animals. Not only are they not raising a lamb, but they also have higher egg counts as compared to those that are within their contemporary group. And so it's really important that we collected everybody, that we only compared those animals to the average within their group, and also that they have had at least a moderate challenge. Again, we're going to monitor this over several weeks and months throughout the summer as the parasite season progresses, and continue to make these comparisons. And to help us, we utilize estimated breeding values. So there's a lot of information here. Estimated breed values are a great tool because they take this information from an animal and those within its pedigree and make those average comparisons and develop breeding values, compile it all into one single figure for you to look at to identify which animals may be better or worse for natural parasite resistance. So selection for this is really important, and we realize the need for some assistance within the industry. And so not only are we here to help from a technical standpoint, but our lab at the Research Center is going to be offering the fecal egg counting services to sheep and goat producers in the coming months. So watch our page, watch what we put out on print over the next few weeks as we provide more information on our lab services. So with that, I hope that we've clarified a few things, and I hope that you have a good rest of your Friday afternoon.